Now look, big things are happening. I warn you.
Things just got a little bit crazier for Doctor Who.
This is a spoiler warning. Wheelchair accessible.
At last! You finally caught up with the 21st century!
Yeah. What?
Yes, they absolutely did. Initially, what happened didn't look Timeless Children bad, but with what Russell T Davies has said since, this is just as bad, if not far worse than the Timeless Children. Nothing means anything. There's no value. There's no stakes. There's no emotional impact. So thanks for having me, and let's get into this. You ready?
Even as someone who's not a fan of Doctor Who, I know how well-respected David Tennant's Doctor was. And how well received that run was and everything. So the idea that they were bringing him back after Jodie Whittaker and everything that happened with her, some people were like, hey, maybe this could be something. You know, this is, we'll see how it goes. Really just seems like they brought him back to disrespect him in almost every way possible. And then to give birth by regeneration or whatever this is to the black gay Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, this entire episode, these 3 episodes, the 60th anniversaries, were basically deconstructing his character, making him lame.
Put a chicken in it and make a lemon gay!
Be mocked by women, you're not as good as you should be, you're old and tired, but they don't explain anything like why David Tennant's face came back, why he was attracted to Donna. This episode doesn't explain anything. We could go into depth about this episode, where there's a puppet in every TV screen giggling at everyone, making them right-wing, crazy internet people. Wow! But I think we're more concerned about the lore-breaking issues and the regeneration scene. So I have the scene here. So the thing with Doctor Who is it's always been very bittersweet. It's always got this very hopeful outlook on the future, on humanity. It's just very hopeful, but of course bad things still happen, so you make the best of a bad situation, and it's bittersweet. That seems to be the consistent emotion throughout all 60 years. Well, what happened here undoes that for not just David Tennant, not just this Doctor, but every previous Doctor, and we'll get into that in a moment. But if you want to watch this clip, we can see what's going on here. Bi-regeneration has never happened before, never been mentioned until after it happens. And they never explain why it happens. But David Tennant, he just got shot with a laser, started regenerating, and then he stopped regenerating.
Feels different this time.
Yes. This doesn't make any sense. There is no lore foundation for this. We have no idea what's going on any more than you guys do. Like, if you guys are lost right now, you're just as lost as every other Doctor Who fan.
They're linked at the dick.
And they stay here for a while, just connected at the dick, talking to each other, while Neil Patrick Harris's terrible German accent just goes, what? His accent is really bad. One of the first things he says is, everybody likes the balls. It's really bad in this episode. But I don't know if you saw this, guys, but they're splitting clothes, too. It's the same amount of clothes for both people. So Shudigawa spends the entire episode in whitey tighties, while David Tennant is going commando.
This is so what we've been seeing with all these different franchises, right?
Black Girl Magic!
You bring back one of the most beloved people to play the role, and you inextricably linked him with this new person that everyone's gonna fucking hate in an effort to like put them over, right? So now they have this huge bond. Like, he's the reason he's there. He's always going to be connected to David Tennant's Doctor in this way. And that's a way that they try to use, like this artificial way to connect these characters together to make people like them. And it never fucking works.
Well, it's doing more than that, because this is being used as the basis for basically a reboot of the franchise. This is a reinvigorated Doctor. All the tiredness, all the sadness, all the brokenness that the Doctors experience stays with David Tennant. Shudigawa doesn't carry it on. And his show, actually his first season coming out in April is the rumored date, is going to be series 1. They're restarting, and there's even rumors that he's going to be called The First Doctor. And it's not going to be a sci-fi show anymore. It's going to be a fantasy show. This is a full reboot that doesn't worry about the history that came before it, because in the commentary for this episode, Russell T Davies said, this isn't just happening to these two. This is happening to every Doctor along the timeline. When they're regenerating, every Doctor has now split in two. So all those sacrifices that they made, giving up their lives, every Doctor giving up his life is a big deal. It is death. Regeneration is still death. It's a new man who walks away. All that sacrifice gone, and it's created a Doctorverse, a multiverse of endless Doctors. But that doesn't make sense, because 3 Doctors regenerated because of old age. So if you get so old, you regenerate, but you split into two, that one's still old, still gonna die, still needs to regenerate. So it splits off in infinite directions. It's a massive multiverse where canon, where timelines, where history, none of it matters, and he can do whatever he wants. Russell T Davies doesn't need to worry about any sort of canon whatsoever, which is worse than the Timeless Children. The Timeless Children undid the origin of the Doctor, but didn't really undo the history of what we saw in the franchise. This undoes everything. Everything.
I mean, I'm glad that I don't give a shit about Doctor Who, because it would just be like another franchise, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems in so many ways, because it's been around so long, that it is in a worse state than some of these other things we've seen go downhill, like even Star Wars. Kind of insane to think about.
It absolutely is. So this is what we're getting in the future instead of...
Oh, no.
Yes. That is the trailer for the Christmas special coming out in a couple weeks. And
Is he wearing a dress?
It's a kilt, but he's using it as a dress, spinning around on the dance floor. The first thing he does is go to a club. Yeah, that's not the smart, intellectual Doctor that we've known for a while. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. David Tennant's Doctor just retires because he's old and sad, and he just ends up living with Donna and her family because he's just so sad and tired. Oh, just go away now. Chudigatwa even says, "Oh, I love you, kid, but get out. It's my turn."
I am so sorry.
Oh my God.
Well, he's definitely gay.
Yes, he hit the TARDIS, a infinitely complex machine that is infinite in size, that is grown. They're not built. TARDISes are grown. He hits it with a hammer and it becomes two.
Why?
So can you go back to him spinning in the dance
I have
thing?
no
real
idea
quick?
what's going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back to the... Yes, I want to, like, can you zoom in on this shit? I want to see what he's wearing.
It's a tank top and a
crop
kilt.
top?
Mm-hmm.
And a kilt. All right. Now you guys understand why I thought it was a dress.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to make you think it's a dress, but what makes this so much weirder is this is a recreation of how Russell T Davies met his husband in the 90s. They locked eyes across a club, and their dynamic, according to the actress, is two high school girls gossiping.
You know, we might get like the first storyline of a Doctor Who has to deal with HIV. So, I mean, that could be interesting, I guess. Well, that is a disaster. Is there anything else from it?
Not from the episode itself. Like I told you guys backstage, we've got a new clip that came out 4 hours ago for the Christmas special. That is just quite something special. But yeah, at the end of the day, the giggle just undoes the entire story of the Doctor, makes everything meaningless. All the sacrifices, everything that was bittersweet about this franchise, gone. There's no stakes. If you're just going to die and then come back again, awaken from your death with someone splitting off from you, there's no stakes anymore. There's no emotional impact of all the sacrifices he's made. So
I feel like I just got AIDS watching that.
Well, better see the Doctor.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta go.
Jed, I'm glad you're here to break all this down for us and let us know what a disaster it actually is, because everybody else just sees on the surface level the cringe and ridiculousness and how stupid it seems, but we don't really understand the ramifications of like all the lore stuff.
Good luck Saturday night. Thank you very much. Goodbye.